afternoon, NRD Atlanta. I am Ian Sherroll. I'm one of the classifiers here at NRD Atlanta MEPS, one of the Navy liaisons, and today the training is going to be over Pssq submissions, personnel security screening, and we're going to go over that. So real quick, reason why you may need to know how to do a Pssq and where to find the actual documents and forms for the Pssq is if we are tasked with a depth action request form that requires the applicant to be reclassed into a intelligence rating, or it requires the applicant to be reclassed into a rating that requires a Pssq, then it would make it much easier on us and you guys if you guys could go ahead and prep those documents beforehand, send them back to us. We send them to the Intel community for approval. They give us the yes or no, or they give us a work request. We send it back to you guys. We get all the rest of the applicable documentation back, send it back to the intelligence portal for submission. Then we wait on that approval to come back, and it makes it that much more easier to validate that applicant's job in the intelligence community. If we don't get a Pssq, or if a Pssq comes back denied, then that individual either may lose that job or they may not qualify for that job. So today we're going to go over where to find those forms at and how to fill out those forms. So real quick before we go over that, I just want to go over the instruction out of the CRUCOM that talks about Pssqs and everything about them. So now CRUCOM Section 3, Personnel Security Screening Questionnaire, Pssq. The Personnel Security Screening Questionnaire, Pssq, is used for applicants enlisting or affiliating in selected sensitive Navy and Navy Reserve ratings. Procedures: Pssq will be administered to all applicants enlisted or affiliating in the following rating programs: Air, CT, EOD, IS, IT, ITS, MA, MT, ND, SB, SECF, SO, and YNS. The Pssq is available electronically as a PDF fillable document on NAV CRUCOM Forms webpage, which I will be giving you guys, by the way, in this video. Completed Pssqs will be retained in the service records with a copy maintained in a residual file. Only classifiers, MILPOs, EPDSs may administer Pssqs with the exception of prior service applicants who are processing for affiliation, who may have the Pssqs administered by reserve recruiters. Authorized administrators shall follow the following procedures with Pssqs. 1. Administrators, the Pssq questionnaire to all DEPIN, reserve, and direct ship applicants who enlist or affiliate in rating or programs that require a security clearance. 2. DEP out. Applicants should be asked whether there have been any changes of status while in DEP on any of the responses to items in the Pssq. If there have been any changes in the applicant status, document the changes on a separate sheet of paper and attach it to the Pssq. 3. Pssq interviewers must contact the appropriate rating security manager for enlistment eligibility determination for applicants who respond yes to any of the questions on the Pssq and or documents a history of psychiatric counseling, bankruptcy, and or indebtedness. Contact one of the following agencies for guidance concerning continued processing of the applicant. And it goes into the ratings that are required. For CT, IS, IT ratings, contact NAV CRUCOM. And that will be us. That will be our primary responsibility here at Atlanta MEPS. Ratings that also don't require actual screening from the IDW community would be MA, YNS, and that's about it. So all this information is going to be on this video. Now we're going to get to the actual documents and forms and where to find those documents and forms. All right, so we're going to go over where to find the documents and forms for the Pssq. There's 2 documents that have to go into an IDW screening kit The first document is going to be the actual Pssq. The next document is going to be the summary of rights under Federal Fair Credit Reporting Act of the credit check release consent. Each one of these documents has an actual document number. The document number for the Pssq is going to be 1133/122 revision 10/2017, and the credit check consent form document number is going to be 1133/121 2-TAC 2015 revision number. You can access these documents via the CNRC share portal. I'm going to provide a link to this portal down in the description of this video so you guys can search it. And you guys can search these forms by the actual form number. So we're going to search the actual Pssq form first. It's going to be the 1133/122. We're going to paste that here in the search block. Search. And the first link that you'll see is the Personnel Security Screening Questionnaire. All you guys have to do is click on that, and it will generate a fillable form for the Pssq for you. Now, I have a Pssq already queued up, so since we're starting with that first, we'll go over that one. The only things that need to be filled out, pre-filled, is going to be the applicant's name. So I have Macho Man Randy Savage here. You're going to have to put his date of birth, 25 June 1975. You're going to put the NRD district. Our district code is going to always be 113. That's regardless if you're over in Montgomery or you're recruiting over here on the Atlanta side. Our district number is always going to be 113, and you're always going to put Atlanta there. So 113 Atlanta covers both Atlanta East Side and Montgomery West Side of the district. And then you're going to put the date that the actual Pssq was administered. It is important when you get this prepped up that you brief the applicant on what the actual form is going to include. So the way we typically brief this is they're going to darken in, not check, not X, but darken in the applicable answer to the applicable question, yes or no. And you can see over here, that's the yes or no blocks. On page 2, down in the explanation block, for any question that they've darkened in yes to, they're going to provide the question number, the applicable question number, and the reason for why they darkened in yes and for that particular question. The second page is going to be police involvement. Now, if they've had any involvement with the police, it could be anything simple as a traffic violation, anything more complex as a felony, they're going to put that information here. If they can't remember the exact date that they got the citation, then they're going to put close to your approximate date as possible. Month and year would suffice in that block. If they've never had any issues with the police whatsoever, then they can leave this block blank, come down to the bottom of the page where it says signature, sign, and continue on to the next page. The following page is going to be the financial statement portion. Now, this one is critical because this is going to require a little bit of information on you guys' behalf as well as ours. So down on the financial statement page, there's a block for the recruiter's name. As you can see, I have MM1 Best Recruiter. That's going to be the recruiter that's conducting the interview. The classifier, it doesn't really matter. You can put any one of our names there. We'll get it and we'll send it up. District, again, is going to say NRD Atlanta. Our district code is 113. Again, for redundancy, it doesn't matter if you're in Montgomery side or you're on the Atlanta side. It's always going to be Atlanta 113. And if you're over in Montgomery, then that's the only thing that's going to change for the MEPS. You're going to put Montgomery. For you guys over here in Atlanta, you're going to put Atlanta. The financial statement portion, question 42 and 43. If they've ever filed their own taxes and they provide yes, then they don't have to provide an explanation for those two particular blocks. If they never filed their own taxes and they darken in no, then they're going to provide a reason. Typically, the reasons that we see is usually for the younger guys in high school that's never been employed. That's all they have to put in those blocks, never held any employment. Question 44, if they've ever filed their own taxes and they ever owed back taxes to the federal government or the state and they darken in yes, then they're going to provide the amount owed in the amount owed block, the status of the account, the year that it was owed, and to what agency they owed that money to. Again, if they darken in no, they can leave this block blank, continue on to the next block, and sign the page. Question 45 of this particular page is subscription based. So if they have anything in their name that they pay on a month-to-month basis that's subscription based, it could be anything simple as a Netflix account, anything more complex as a credit card, a student loan. They're going to provide that information here. Now, this can be kind of complex because they don't understand the questions on this particular page. So when it says balance on account, if they've recently paid that balance, if the balance was due on the 7th and today is the 8th, then the balance on the account would be 0. They're going to put their monthly payment. So let's say the Netflix account is $15 a month. They're going to put $15 a month. Date of most recent payment. Again, if it was due on the 7th and they just paid it, then they're going to put yesterday's date, the 7th, so on and so forth. The next page is going to be the financial statement continuation of the Pssq. Question 46 through 48 of this particular page. If they darken in no, then they can leave the explanation blocks below the question blank. If they darken in yes, then they have to provide an explanation in the explanation block below the particular question. And again, they sign the bottom of the page, and that is it. Now, there's one more page to this particular document. This is typically reserved for the classifiers, either on the Atlanta side or on the Montgomery side. However, whenever you're prepping this document, you can go ahead and put whatever classifier from either side in the applicable block. So it says interviewer, printed name. My name is in there. Title position is always going to be enlisted classifier. And then you're going to go ahead and put the dates. That's our number here at Atlanta. If you have the numbers to the MEPS over in Montgomery, you can go ahead and pre-fill that. Interviewer signature, that's going to be us here. But the critical part of this document is going to be the actual job that you're sending the screening up on. So if your applicant is reclassing or intending to reclass as an IT or any one of the intelligence rates, then you have to put that particular rating in here. And on this form, there's a drop-down menu that shows all the different jobs that you can put under this applicant's name. This is going to be the same for reserve rate. So if your applicant is trying to reclass into intelligence job that's reserve based, if you come all the way down to the bottom where it says newest session training, that's where you're going to find all of the reserve jobs. And anything that requires intelligence screening is going to be under there. Again, it's going to be newest session training, and that's also going to be the same as applicable to the FTS jobs. If it's reserve IT, it's going to say newest session training, information systems technician. If it's full-time support IT, it's going to say obviously full-time support intelligence systems specialist technician. And once you get all that done, you're going to have them sign the bottom of each page. Again, that is critical to make sure they sign each page. As simple as it seems, if they miss one signature on this form, the IDW community will kick this screening kit back and we'll have to start the whole process over again. So please make sure whenever they go over this, you guys double check it to ensure that they fill this out correctly. Again, for any question that they darken in yes, in the explanation block, make sure that they are thorough in detail about how they explain a yes answered question. An example of this is there's a question on here that asks, have you ever been outside of the country or something to that effect. If they have, they need to provide why they left the country. Typically what we see is people go on vacations, they're gone for 2 weeks. They don't have to be super detailed, but they need to say, I went to Mexico with my family in the summer of 2016. We went to this place, that place, and that place, and we came back. Another typical question are for people who have relatives that are foreign born. They only care about immediate family members. That's mother, father, brother, sister. They don't care about aunts. They don't care about uncles. Now, if they have foreign family members that are closely related to a father, mother, or they have a brother or a sister somewhere in another country, but they're U.S., but that actual applicant is U.S. born, they need to explain whether or not they maintain close communications with that relative or not. So the whole thing with this Pssq is the Intel community wants to make sure they are as transparent as possible, that they're open and honest as possible about all information that they answer yes in and about their financial situation. So I hope that covers the actual Pssq portion of the IDW screening. Next, we're going to review the Fair Credit Statement form. That's going to be the 1133-121. And again, we're going to go back over to our handy dandy MPDE CNRC portal, which a link will be provided for you at the bottom of in the description of this video. We're going to go ahead and paste that document number in the search. And we got to dial it in for the actual revision. Okay. All right, so search document form 1133/121. That's going to be the Fair Credit form. That's going to give you a list of forms in that link. You're going to come down to the third one that says Summary of Rights under Federal Fair Credit. Click on it. It's going to automatically populate that document. Everything is going to be blank. You're going to have to fill everything in. Again, I've taken the liberty of going ahead and pre-filling everything on this document for you. Now, what this actual document is, the way we brief it is, this is a credit check. This is them signing over, giving the Navy consent to run a check on their credit. This will be similar to if you were applying for a loan or anything like that, or applying for housing, where they run a background check on your credit. The Navy does the same thing to ensure that everything that they told us in the Pssq about their finances are on the up and up. Now, this is the critical piece, because if they have any money that they have that they owe on a debt, or they're in the rears in debt on a loan, or they have anything that's been turned over to collections, this could be anything as simple as a medical expense that they haven't paid for. This could be a credit card or anything that's been turned over to collections. If they don't have any of that stuff caught up, or they're still paying on it, but they've owed and they've been past due, 9 times out of 10, if they don't disclose that on the Pssq, then 9 times out of 10, the guys over at the Intel shop, they're gonna catch it, and trust me, they let us know in their comments section when they come back with the approval, disapproval, what they have. So that's what this form is for, to ensure whatever they tell us is on the up and up. This is a soft credit check consent form. This does not impact their credit score whatsoever in terms of inquiry. This is just to make sure whatever they tell us on the Pssq is accurate and truthful. So for this pre-fill section, the way you're going to fill this out, obviously you're going to leave the signature sign in ink section blank. That's going to be for the actual applicant. You're going to put the applicant's name in the name block, last, first, middle. Macho Man, Randy Savage. You're going to put the date sign in the date sign section, which is today, 8 May 2020. Other names used, you can leave that in A. You can see. Date of birth, you're going to put the applicant's date of birth there, 25 June 1975. You're going to put the applicant's social security number in the social security block. And then last but not least, you're going to put the applicant's address and the current address block, the city, state, zip code, and then you're going to put a good contact number for the applicant to be able to be reached by if need be. And then you're going to have the applicant sign in the signature block right there. Once you get all that stuff taken care of, you guys can scan and email that back to us here at MEPS. We'll review it and make sure everything is filled out correct. If there are any corrections that needs to be made, we will send that kit back with an email to let you guys know what needs to be done. If everything is good to go, we'll go ahead and submit that to the Intel portal. And as soon as we get a announcement on approval, disapproval.
Attention MFs, following applicants report to the control desk. Scott, Moy, Johnson, Tadarian, let's see, Viveroso, Vasquez, Maddox, Bridges, report to the control desk.
As soon as we get an answer back from the Intel community, yes or no, we will update you guys via email. Everybody from your station and will be included on that. DL, CPO, recruiter, and LPO will be CC'd on the applicant's status approval, disapproval. I hope that clears up a lot for you guys in terms of Pssq, IDW kits. If you have any questions, please reach out to us. Our number is 470-346-6900. Not quite sure what Montgomery's number is off the top, but I'm pretty sure you West Side guys have access to that. From me and the MEPS team, thank you. And that will be it.